Dun, do, 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 do. Those about to rock. What is up? What is going on? Welcome back. What's happening? What's crackle-lacking on this? What is it? Wednesday? It's Wednesday. I never even know. Good afternoon. Holy, I think it's a good evening here at least. I think. Just what the night needs. It's been a while. It has been a little while. A couple weeks. Jason, how's it going, buddy? You can always tell who has notifications on for sure. Oh, what? I start talking and you have to get up. Hey, Isla. She's been sleeping, but as soon as I start talking, she gets up. Can't wait for summer pike videos. You know what? Me too. I'm ready for some open water pike. I love pike fishing. It's so much fun. It really is. I just love how aggressive they can be. Yeah. It's kind of funny because right now we're talking about pike. I'm actually editing an open water muskie video. So yeah, Lane, welcome to the CSO membership. Welcome. Northern 705. Hey, what's up, Clayton? Not much, my friend. You got to stop everything you do when the boss is live. Open water, fill in the blank. Open water, everything. No, the winter's still young. The winter's so young yet, like so young. It's February 18th. I'll be fishing till at least mid-April. So that's March, half of February, half April. That's 2 months. Holy molies. Where was Sussman with the Yorkton Hill Clayton? I hear you'll be at the Yorkton Parkland Outdoor Expo. Yes, I will be at the Yorkton Outdoor Show. Nothing's been announced on their stuff yet, I don't think yet, but I have sent photos, etc. So they'll probably have some stuff coming out soon. But yes, I will be at the Yorkton Parkland Outdoor Show. We'll have a booth there and just hanging out. And yeah, Mark, good evening. Stu, oh man, I get the notifications of your live chat right as I'm belling up to go rip the snowblower. I'm not snowblowing until tomorrow. You could always just put in headphones and listen as you're snowblowing. Yeah, so I will be snowblowing tomorrow. We got a pile of snow. Frostbite coming to the EU? Not that I know of yet, but you never know. You should come to Falcon Lake for March for big pike and whitefish. That sounds pretty exciting. I like big pike. I like whitefish. Can't wait for your open water walleyes again. Open water walleyes will definitely be a thing this year, for sure. Hey, Clay, I've been watching your channel the last 2 years. Never heard of a skunking from you. I go out and struggle anywhere other than Lake Prairies. Do you ever get skunked? Yeah, I get skunked. It happens. Generally, a lot of times, like I'll catch 1 or 2 fish at least, even on those days. But I've gotten skunked. Have I gotten skunked before? Yes, I've gotten skunked. I maybe won't show like the skunk videos, but like I'll show days where it's slower for sure. But generally, if you're on a boat, like you can work hard enough to find them for sure. A little bit harder ice fishing. When's the next video, fella? Tomorrow there will be a video to everybody. It's out right now to members only. A jumbo perch video. It'll come out tomorrow, probably like 3 o'clock ish. I went to the Interlake region and chased some jumbo perch. Any interest in salmon? I think at some time I'd like to do salmon again. Jay, myself, and Maddie Getzlaff did salmon when we went to Chilliwack 12 years ago already, a long time ago, when we did sturgeon. And it was okay-ish, like it wasn't a pile of fun, but we also didn't really get into them. So I would be interested to do it. I wouldn't be really interested in like the trolling thing. I would like to cast for them more so, I'd say. Yeah. Any plans for new products for open water? Nothing in the works right now. I think I'm gonna I'll bring a few other things into the videos. I haven't decided what kind of rods I'm gonna run this year. If I'm gonna try to contact any certain company and work with them, or if I'm just gonna keep doing the thing where I just use a bunch of different rods. Like last year I was using some St. Croix, some 13 Fishing, some Loomis, some Savage Gear rods. Like I kind of get that I'm at that stage where I have enough rods at everything, and it's just nice to use a little bit of everything. So yeah, thanks again for your tips on rods and bait. Had a blast at Crawford's and caught our first ever Lakers. Crawford's, baby. That's awesome. You're so welcome. I'm glad it worked out for you. I'm glad you had a good trip. I get impatient for the notification for YouTube to watch your video. So there should be a new one. Arctic Char, yeah, or a new one tomorrow. Sorry. Arctic Char, yes. Really, really want to do Arctic Char. I know Jay's gone on a couple amazing char trips the last few years, and some of that stuff that he's done would be definitely on my bucket list for sure. Hey, buddy, hope all's well. Hope you didn't get snowed in. We definitely got snowed in, but we'll get the yard clear here in the next day or two. The new Bondi Ultra must have Clayton. I need some of those. I want some of those small little Bondies. Yes, agreed. Hey Clayton, will you ever come to the States to fish fish other than Minnesota? Also, what is the biggest fish you've caught on the True Grit? I've caught only like 14-inch eyes, but they fight hard on it. I've caught up to a 37-inch Laker, I think I caught in the True Grit, which was a lot for it. I know somebody that caught a 45-inch pike recently on the True Grit. So it can handle it for sure. It's a little bit underkill. Under this obviously underkill isn't the right word. It's under whatever that word is, but it's not sufficient for big fish. But it will work if needed. It will work. How about the Team Canada W today? Yeah, that was a crazy game, like insane. Not gonna lie, I fell asleep in the first period. I woke up and it was like 2-1 for the Czechs, and I'm like, what is this? And I was like, I don't think they're gonna win. I just had that feeling that the Czechs were gonna win, and they almost did. Even with 6 guys, they almost pulled it up with it. They almost won. Okay, Clayton, your videos are awesome. Alex from Connecticut. I think that's Connecticut. Thank you so much, Alex. I appreciate you. I'm going fishing for Lakers for the first time on Lake of the Woods. I had fun fishing for Lakers on Lake of the Woods. I'd say the biggest thing is like if you're not catching them, definitely be willing to move around a little bit. And I'm sure every area is different on Lake of the Woods. I was in Whitefish Bay, but yeah, it was so much fun. It was good. It was a cool trip. Hughes with the OT goal. Yeah, we're setting up for a States Canada gold medal possibly. See, I was a little bit worried about the States losing too. Not gonna lie, like, oof, it was close. I work right by the Bondi company in Windsor. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I have some Bondi baits. I don't use them a pile, but I know they work clearly. Hey Clayton, do you have lakes to catch sauger near you? If so, what's the average size? No, I really don't. I think the closest would probably be like the Saskatchewan River, North Saskatchewan River, Tobin Lake, that type of thing. So, and there they get pretty decent. Like I'm pretty sure you can catch some. I have a video a couple years ago. We actually caught some better saugers. Actually, when we were doing some cranking videos at night with Adam. I think it was with Adam. We're a bit of Tyson too, but we caught some good saugers. Yeah, I see you frying with fish with beef tallow. If so, how was it? It's so good with beef tallow. It's really hard to cook fish with oil after using beef tallow. It's so much better. So much. Did you fish Lake Erie by chance? I did not fish Lake Erie at all. Manitoba is a must go next year ice fishing. I want to land some monsters. Manitoba was so good. So many different lakes to fish. Just do your research. Spend some time online, Manitoba Master Angler Board, and then reach out to people. And there's so many good options for Manitoba. Walleye generally Lake Winnipeg, and then everything else is like all over the province. Can you help me with a chapter called Chapter 1, The Ghost Mother? I don't think I can help you. I don't know that horror novel at all. Sorry. How's it going? I've been to where'd that go? How's it going? Have you been to Lake Mary in Wisconsin? I've never been to Lake Mary in Wisconsin. Nope, never have. What would it take you for come to the EU? It was a Xander. Xander. I want to catch some big Xander. I think that's what I could be talking to going to the EU for something like that. So that's probably what it would take. Big Xanders. Hey Clayton, I plan on targeting muskie at some point. I'm editing a muskie video right now that I did this August at a Wiley Point on Lake of the Woods, and I want to go back for muskie again to Lake of the Woods this year. It's definitely on my list. Kind of getting comfortable in an area of the lake and want to just keep fishing it. And yeah, even if I don't stay anywhere, even camping out on an island somewhere or something like that. But I would easily go back to Wiley Point where I was. So yeah, it's definitely on the list for sure to do more muskies. It was something like after the first day, I was like, what am I getting myself into? And by the fourth day, I was like, okay, I could keep doing this. There's a lake in the Dakotas that has Anders. Yes, there is. There is. Clayton, I'm a longtime fan. Keep up the content, the fishing, the cooking. I love it. Fan from New York City. Well, thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate you very much. Sarah got me a little pail of Wagyu beef tallow for Christmas. What would you suggest cooking in it for a guy that's allergic to fish? How about a good steak on the right on the stove? Like the best way to cook steak. That's what I would do. I'd cook it up with that instead of oil. Yeah. Can't believe you're allergic to fish. That's a tough one. What's a tip to catch some walleyes in about 15 feet of water that either come up and don't bite or just swim by? I would say downsize a lot, and you get him to come up is good because you get them out of their comfort zone. But try taking them to the bottom instead and pound it down in the bottom, because sometimes that's the way they want to eat, right? Sometimes they want to eat going up, and sometimes they want to eat off the bottom. There's lots of insects, red worms that they eat, obviously crawfish, etc. So sometimes pounding the bottom works better than you would imagine. You rock. No, Cody, you rock. Reverse seared ribeye. There you go. See, the middle scoop knows. Middle scoop. Mr. Mark Tully. Hey, Clayton, I caught a master angler lake trout today. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate lake trout? Oh, Mark, that's such a tough question, right? Because I always say, like, for when people, you have like a scale, right? Like my scale of fish is like a good one, a big one, uh, giant, mega giant, right? And everybody's scales are so different. If you've never caught a master angler lake trout, Mark, which I know you've caught some, for like, you'd be like kind of where I am, where it'd be like a good one would be like 35 inches. A big one would be 37, 38 inches. A little bit bigger one would be 39. And then you start to get to giant. I guess even big would be like from like 38 to 42. Soon as for me, like a giant lake trout is like 43, 44 and above. And then you get to like 46 and above, and it's a mega giant. Mega giants. We all crave mega giants. What's up, Buttercup? How's it going? Where's the sauce? Hey, buddy. Mr. Mark Tully. Send me a picture of your lake trout. Sorry, I'm back. I just had to check something. If you're ever gonna come to Devil's Lake? I'd like to come to Devil's Lake eventually. I would. I really would. Monster. Oh yeah, monster. Monster's a one is two, right? I have to remember the whole terminology is big, monster, giant, mega giants. Yeah, there's monsters mixed in there too. A monster would be like that 39 to 41 inch or 42. Yeah. Forgot about monsters. There's so many different words, but it's all relative to what you catch. If you've never caught any lake trout, like a 35 incher is a giant. Also, too, it's really relative to the lakes, because I can fish a lake that say it tops out at like 38 inches, and if I catch a 38-inch lake trout there, I'm so fired up. So I think that's really relevant to the size of the lake, or what is at the lake. Ray, go Canada, go! I keep saying that was like because of that whole six people on the ice when Czech scored their sixth goal. All we would have heard on the internet if Canada would have lost for weeks or for years would have been, you guys deserved it because you cheated curling. That's all that would have. That's all we would have heard forever. You gonna come out to Lake of the Prairies? I'd like to get there at some point. I haven't been there for a while. Sam Miller, Clayton, could you list your PBs for walleye, pike, and Lakers? Walleye is 33 and a quarter. Pike is 47 and 3/4, and Laker is 48 inches. Clayton, your all-time favorite portable ice fishing house? I'd say the Eskimo 450 XD. Probably that's my favorite one out of them all. This year I've been using a sled a lot, so I'm using my flip over, but the 450 is probably like my favorite. I'd say the 450 XDP. That's my favorite ice house right now, portable one for sure. Let's go, Clayton. Hope all's well, brother. Brett, good to see you. I love seeing the pictures of you and the kids with the fish. So good. Fishing Crow Lake for lake trout this weekend. Just seen your Lake of the Woods video. Nice. Good luck on Crow Lake. I might get a fish Crow Lake this summer, possibly. I'll probably do muskies if I do. You ever fish Lake St. Clair? No, I've never fished Lake St. Clair. Just bought the Otter Vortex Monster Lodge and camped this year. They work great. That's awesome. Hey Clayton, you gonna come to buy bait at Lowen's? Yes. If I get to Lake of the Prairies by bait, that's where I always get my minnows. Is from Lowen's, Lost Meadow Resort. Always got the best bait. What's that? Yes. How's Foxy doing? How's Foxy doing? I hope Foxy's still there. Foxy was amazing. Always loved Foxy. Ice camping video soon? Yes. I'm thinking I probably won't get out to film them until sometime in February, end of February. I want to go do some burbot. I want to go burbot fishing and do some camping videos, do something completely different. I've done the whole walleye camping. I've done pike camping. I want to go for burbot. Foxy's doing good. She's getting pretty old. I have to come see Foxy at some point. We'd always let Foxy in our cabin when we stayed at Lost Meadows all the time. Probably shouldn't have did that, but we did. Sorry to make you stumble on that sentence. Lake Mary is next to Lake. Now I'm really going to stumble for sure. The pike bite is good at night. I've never really done well at the pike at night. It can happen for sure. When I talk about the camping more so, it's just like camping on the ice, not necessarily catching those fish at night, but burbot walleyes for sure at night. So Clayton, each time I see a fish on my hummingbird helix while ice fishing, I try to jig it and catch it, but I'm unsuccessful. I kept on jigging and still fish won't bite. Lure, what am I doing wrong, Clayton? Tyler, I don't know. I don't know, my friend. I know you struggle with this every time you chat, and I don't know. Hopefully you have sharp hooks. Try sharpening your hooks, and maybe to let them bite a little bit longer, something like that, right? And a lot of times load up your rod a little bit. If a fish bites, sometimes it's good to like let your rod load a little bit and then set it. What kind of Skidoo Expedition do you have? I have a 2019 Skidoo Expedition 900 SE, I believe it is. It's not the turbo. It's been really good for me. Really good. 16-inch track. I've been very happy with it. I would get a 20-inch track at some point as well. But yeah, it's been a really good sled for me. Crooked Lake or Lake of the Prairies? They're both so good. Lake of the Prairies, if you want to catch a pile of fish, though, I'd say, especially in the open water season. Crooked's gonna be really good when the bite's happening, but when it's off, it's off. Lake of the Prairies, you can almost find fish somewhere that'll bite. You might have to work a little bit harder, or you won't catch as many, but you can at least usually find some fish. Have you tried the new Catch and Cook? Oh, I've tried it for sure. I've tried all of it. My favorite right now is probably the roasted red pepper. Not gonna lie, it's so good. It's really good, actually. Just got a jaw jacker. What's a good walleye? What's a good rod to use for walleye? The drench, the 39 medium light is like the perfect drench or perfect rod for the jaw jacker, called the drench. Can you rank your top 3 freshwater fish to eat? Pike, walleye, and now crappie. Those will be my 3 in that order for freshwater fish. Yeah, those would be my for freshwater. If you're going to mix in like other fish, I was talking about this with Aaron the other day, a grouper sandwich or a snapper sandwich, something like that, so good. Yeah, freshwater, those are my 3 in that order. Look, perch is good, is great too, but I just don't like dealing with their skin is like armor, and for to get a really good chunk of meat on a perch, it's like 12, 13 inches, and I'd rather let those ones go. I really would. I can't believe you never had crappie before. I haven't, but I've had it twice now since I cooked it up the first time. How's Aaron doing? He's good. We chat lots. He's doing good. He's fishing lots, just doing lots of behind the scenes stuff for Frostbite and just giving her hard. He won the 6 species slam on Fish Donkey. I didn't fish it. So Aaron, just if you ever see this, I would have crushed you. Is there big pike this spring? We'll be doing some pike fishing this spring. We will. Can you give your thoughts about using a single treble hook or a quick straight rig for tip ups? I like the single hook. It's just less for the fish to see. Once a fish bites and it turns the bait and it eats it, you're gonna hook up with that one hook, especially if it's running away from you. You're gonna catch it in the corner of the mouth, like all the times. I see lots of guys where they're like, don't set it when the fish is like running, like even like a tip up. They're like, oh, wait till it stops to hit it. But that is so not the case at all. Like if a fish is swimming away from you, you want to hit it when it's swimming away from you, because if the hook's in its mouth, it's going to come out and then in hook in the side somewhere, right? If the fish stops, it might have stopped and turn around and come right back at you again. So you should hit the fish as it's going away from you, like 100% every time. Don't wait for it to stop. If you're using a single hook and you hit it and it comes off right away, it's likely a smaller fish and you didn't want to deal with it anyway. I almost have never, ever, ever seen a bigger fish on the underwater camera eat the bait and then not hook up with a single hook. I would change the way I fish because I do a lot of underwater footage stuff with it. And if I saw big fish eating the bait and not hooking up with that single hook, I would switch like in a heartbeat. But I put so much time into it and I know what works for it. And yeah, what's your thoughts on iFish Pros? iFish Pros are good, they're just a little bit bulky, but they're good for sure. Best types for February ice fishing seems slower. Go shallow. There's a shallow bite in February, whether it's for perch, walleye, pike. You're gonna see less fish likely on your live sonar or underwater camera, but those fish that are shallow are usually gonna bite. Just go shallow. Everybody's been pushing deeper and deeper as the winter goes, but go shallow. Just get shallow. Like last time I was at Crooked Lake, I was catching walleye in 6 feet of water. So yeah. Weeb J, the twins, you tight lines. Tight lines, buddy. You're the best. How much ice in Saskatchewan? 3 feet in some lakes for sure. It really depends on the lake, but when I was at Shoal Lake recently, that's Manitoba, but it was a full otter flight. So yeah. Does Lake of the Prairies have decent pike action in open water season? Yeah, it's tougher. You can catch good ones like the Prairies open water, but it's tough fishing. Like sometimes I'll go all day with one bite or 2-3 days with a couple bites, so it can be tougher for sure. But they are like it can happen. But is it like good numbers? It's not like north at all. Like the northern lakes, you'll catch way more for sure. Clayton, will you do a circle hook? Works ice fishing live bait with weight. I'll do a circle hook at some point. I've tried it and I just haven't had any success with it. 2 feet at Fishing Lake. There you go, Dason. I love it. 2 feet, shallow. Everybody always pushes deep into a position where any fish that you catch, you have to kill because it's usually got bad barotrauma, etc. So go the opposite. Try shallow. Clayton, I'm a 17-year-old from Minnesota who cannot afford live scope. What are your thoughts on the Lawrence Eagle 9 for crappie fishing? I think something like that for crappie fishing is great, right? You always want to get what you can afford in that sense. And any live imaging is better than no live imaging. I know Mike Klatt's going to put some videos out soon with that. I forget what it is. It goes on your phone or whatever. It's even a cheaper option, I believe. But yeah, so any live imaging is still better than no live imaging. I don't have any experience with the Eagle Eye one, but I haven't heard any bad things about it. But it's a stepping stone, right? You buy yourself the Eagle Eye, and then you start saving more money, and then in a couple of years you can sell the Eagle Eye pretty close to what you paid for it, and you can upgrade to a live scope unit. Eagle Eye 9 is great. I have it. There you go. I haven't heard anything bad about it. Manitoba spring pike. When and where are you going? I don't know. Reed Lake, Manitoba, maybe somewhere north Manitoba. I don't know. There's so many good lakes. So many. Lake Diefenbaker. Oh, you said Manitoba though. Reed Lake. Maybe some lakes I've never fished before. Cormorant. There's some other lakes I'd really like to get to that's got like giants in it. There you go. Real life with Mike said. The Acrophy live sonar. Not fantastic, more or less kind of like the Panoptics. Caught my PB on Saturday with your SIT Clayton. Walleye. Well, that's awesome. Glad you caught it. Champion Lake for big pike. What's your top three places to fish? Oh boy. I honestly, that's too hard to answer because I just love it. As you notice, most of my videos, I almost always like fish different lakes. Very, very rarely do I fish the same lake like more than a few times throughout the winter, unless it's like it's closer to me. But I love to venture around. Like I've been so many different places this year. Like I bet I could only imagine how many different lakes I've been to. Of course, the 7-species slime helped out for that a lot, but I've been everywhere. Busy. Jerry, evening Clayton, evening my friend. Hope you're doing well. I got the video coming out tomorrow with the boys in it. Have you ever fished North Dakota? I have not. Sorry, your favorite dinner bell from Frostbite. 100% the Insanity Pepper, 3/16 ounce. I love the 3/16. one I'll set the what's I you don't you see Tyler never set the hooks with circle hooks. There's maybe that's what your problem is. Are you using circle hooks? Don't set the hook with a circle hook. That's one of your problems if you're using that for sure. What areas would you be targeting walleyes this time of year? Some shallower flats close to deep water, like they'll starting to get ready to travel to their spawning areas for sure. And some kind of shallow flats, like something that's from like 5 to 15 feet, with some scattered rocks, transition, mud, sand type of thing. Not much different from you would fish in December, but honestly, like walleyes, they get hard to catch this time of year. They really do. Their metabolism slows down so much in the wintertime. And before their spawn, sometimes they can get a little bit more aggressive, but it gets tough. It gets really, really tough this time of year for walleyes. That's why you see a lot of times I don't spend a lot of time fishing for them. Once the winter gets a little bit later, I go for pike, for perch, for crappie, lake trout, a bunch of different stuff. So yeah. Well, have you tried catch and cook whitefish before? I have not. I've never tried a whitefish yet. I need to. When are you biting Cindy and Ice Castle? I know. One day we'll fish in the Ice Castle. One day. Lake Knockabee. I think I've heard that before. Have any good open water walleye rod recommendations? $100 to $200. I was using there a couple of 13 fishing open water rods last year that were probably a little bit cheaper on that sense. They're the Omen series, I think, and it was like a minnow rod and a jigging Rap rod. I think it was the Omen series. Can't remember. It was the rods they just released last year. And then so some of the St. Croix, like their Avid series, is probably around that price too. Yeah. Love your videos. I'm moving to North Dakota soon. What area are you located? I'm in Saskatchewan, Canada. What's up from Montana, dude? Thanks for epic content. Well, thank you, Logan, for watching. I appreciate it so much. Clay, my man, I took a guided ice fishing trip on Lake Michigan 2 weeks ago. AP Basting ended up being my guide. No way. We caught some massive brown trout. That is wicked. AP, you fished with Alex. That's awesome. Can we get a shout out to Old Johnson and Dolphin? We drove through the worst storm this year fit to fish. I'm thinking you're meant to say fish up in the Minnesota walleye season or finish up the Minnesota walleye season. Sitting in my shack watching you and the live scope. Cheers, brother. Cheers, due north. I hope the trip in the storm was worth it. This storm, I stayed home and edited. Not gonna lie. I've heard about speckled trout. I've never fished for them though. Have you ever fished Mille Lacs? I have not. I've never fished Mille Lacs. Nope. It was awesome, dude. Wish I could share pics. Clayton, Thor and I need your opinion. Do you reuse pike deadbait from year to year out of the freezer or stinkier the better? I reuse it, but I vacuum seal everything. Like even when I come home from a trip and I have a bunch of bait that I have out that I've used, I will reseal it. I'll vacuum seal it. I'll try to keep it more fresh like that. So I like fresh bait for sure. The whole stinky thing, I just like fresh bait. Fresh. Are you laughing? Oh, jeez. Isla, what are you doing? Isla's upside down. What do you use for perch? What hook? I have a perch video coming out tomorrow, but I was using um, a 3 millimeter frostbite tungsten jig with an indestructible larva, and then I was using the smallest size scissor kick. Both worked really well, and they'll both be in my video tomorrow for jumbo perch. Jumbos. Finally caught some nice perch. It was fun. It was beautiful weather too. Like, how about fishing when it's nice out? Like, oh, it's so much better to fish when it's like beautiful out. You can fish outside. It's sunny, no wind. So good. Are you gonna have a booth at Yorkton Expo? Jaron, I will be having a booth at the Yorkton Expo. Cindy and Ray, I think, will actually be there with her manning it, and probably Isla, I'm thinking. But Clayton, I fished for my fishing team in high school, but we were struggling to find pike. Wondering if you could help. Well, Mason, every lake is so different. If it's a high school team, I'm guessing you're fishing open water, something like that right now. But I tend to say like shallow bays, find where they're going to be in their spawning bays, and that thing, and right outside those spawning bays right now would be a good place to start. Ray, I will be there. Ray's watching. She will be there. Yes, Ray, you'll be there with bells on. Get some bells for Ray because she's got to be there with bells on. Drinks. The underwater pike footage you got recently was insane. The underwater with the like where it ate the walleye, that was crazy. How about the pike in the side hole? That was by far one of the most fun days I've had. I shouldn't say it. It was one of the most fun, epic moments that I had. The day itself is like it's a drag staring down that hole all day, and I wanted to like run a dead bait and a tip up so bad somewhere, right, and catch fish. But it was like the whole thing was to like just focus on trying to catch one in the shack in the sight hole. It was so insufficient to do it like that. What's a good budget underwater camera? Good question. I think there's some smaller screens from Aquaview that are pretty good. Some 5-inch screens, I believe, that are probably budget friendly. I haven't really looked into the budget friendly side of the underwater cameras lately, so I can't give you a fair answer on that one. I really can't. Which tip up lights would you recommend, budget friendly? Again, I only tip up lights I have right now are the ones that are built into the tip up right on the unit. Those the ones from Beaver Dam. I forget what they're called. I don't think they make them anymore even. And I only had a couple of them. A couple of them work right now. I think 2 of them won't even work. Which depth should I target walleye in a 60-foot deep lake? 15 to 25 feet, somewhere in there. We'll look for some rock piles. It's always a good start. Ever fish in Ontario? Yes, I just put out a video from Northwest Ontario at Lake of the Woods on lake trout, walleye, and crappie, and I'm editing a muskie video from this past August as well from there. Best fisherman in Canada. Who? I'm definitely not the best. I have to sneeze so bad right now. Well, I heard a rumor that a piece of beaver tail works for perch. I wonder if, yeah, I've heard something like that too. It probably would work. Probably stay on your hook really well too. Never tried it. I have heard that though before too. Love your videos. See you. Cheers. See you as well and appreciate all the support. Perch eyes work too. Perch eyes definitely work for bait too. 100%. Spring lake trout in Northwest Ontario tips. Yeah. I'm all short on tips tonight. Why don't I have enough tips for people? No tips. I don't know Lake of the Woods that much, so it's so hard. It's that like, especially after fishing that lake, excuse me, this past couple weeks, it's a different beast in terms of fishing. Like, I find that moving around probably is your best bet. Like, a lot of times, some of the lakes that I fish camping out for Lakers is the answer, but there it seemed like moving around, finding active fish, finding bait was the way to go. Who would win an arm wrestling contest, you or Jay? 100% me. Is there bluegills up where you are? The closest bluegills to me is, I think it's 4 hours or 3.5 hours away. Have you ever thought about doing a sturgeon video with Mr. Mac? I do want to do sturgeon so bad. I was sharing this photo with somebody the other day. I caught a 59-inch sturgeon a couple of years ago when we used to camp on the ice with my ice castle. And I thought about going back to that area again that I fished years ago and doing some sturgeon for that. I'd like to. Really would like to. Hi, Clayton and Cindy from Minnesota fans. Getting blizzard right now, big time. We got a pretty good blizzard here too. Not like insane, but enough. It's annoying. And 24 inches is definitely a blizzard. That's a lot of snow. A lot. Do you still have those CSO sun shirts? Yes. And after I said that, Cindy's probably rolling her eyes because I haven't put them on the website yet. I was going to wait till after the Yorkton Outdoor Show to put them online. Thank you for all your informative videos. Keep them coming. I've learned a lot. Hello from Michigan. Well, hello to you. I appreciate you watching the videos a lot. Yeah, our snow didn't. We didn't get 24 inches, but we definitely got like probably a foot, I'd say. Are you still planning on posting your hunting video from this year? I haven't decided. I really haven't. I don't know. I haven't edited it for sure, so I don't even know what it would look like. If I don't, I'll work it into a video at some point for sure. No one has sent a super chat yet tonight, so I will. They said that's okay. I don't need super chats. I just want to hang out with the people. It's not about the super chats. We're gonna have a drink with you though. How are the young ones, Dason? Are you getting any time to fish? Pretty soon they'll be old and you can take them fishing, right? So, is Cindy ever gonna go fishing? Yes. The hardest thing with what I do is like it's fishing, but it's also work. So like I'm trying to accomplish work when I'm out there too, right? Like I'm trying to get videos. So it's tougher. The last time, unfortunately, we went out, we didn't succeed. We got a couple of walleyes, and that was it. It was slow. Cheers, Jason. That's a butter ripple schnapps, and I'm having a fizzy hard seltzer. Ever fished northern Alberta? I have never fished northern Alberta, but I'd like to. I'd like to go to Peerless at some point. What he's trying to say is I'm a lot of work. No, it's not that she's a lot of work. It's like the the focus becomes so different in terms of like when you take somebody fishing, your focus ends up being on them, which can be successful for the video if you score, but you're not so much focused on like making sure some fish get topside for the video. Like it changes a lot. It's tough. Thirsty Wednesday. Yes. You ever fished Keeley? I've never fished Keeley. I would like to fish Keeley at some point though. I would. I've been doing some research on Keeley actually. You should bring Cindy out for a late night burb run. Yeah, except for when I'm going burbot fishing, it's gonna be like so far. Every time I try and order, my size is sold out. We have what size? What are you looking for, Alex? We have stuff on the website right now. Probably all sizes too. Hey, Clayton and Cindy. Hello, born to fish, forced to work. The name is pretty awesome. Born to fish, forced to work. I like that name. Hello to you. Appreciate you. That's awesome. I understand it's a work thing, but I get a sense of pride bringing people fishing who don't fish and catch some fish. I agree 100%. Uh, that's why I've been guiding for 23 years. I do get enjoyment out of taking people and them catching the biggest fish they ever caught or experience something that they'll never experience if it wasn't for you being there and doing that day. So it's yeah, it's it's I do enjoy that side of it. I really do. Can you explain why people should not throw tulipies on the ice to die? Yes, I can. 100%, Chris. So there's been for the years and years and years, especially near lakes near us, the Fort Capel system is always bad. Echo Lake, Pasquat, Mission, Katepwa. There's pretty good Cisco fishing, and these are a few reasons why you should never catch a Cisco or tulipy and throw it on the ice. It's really good and enjoyable midwinter to catch for the kids when nothing else is biting, and at least they have some enjoyment to keep you out longer. So it's action. You're catching fish. Kids don't care what type of fish it is, how big it is. They want to feel a tick and they want to reel it in and get excited. Number two, those Cisco's, those tulabi are so important to the fishery in terms of bait. Like that's what makes your walleye and your pike bigger are those Cisco's, those tulabi. When people start throwing a bunch of Cisco's and tulabi on the ice, you are going to kill that fishery. Mark my words. That is their forage. So don't. You will destroy the fishery. That's my 2 cents about throwing the Cisco's and tulabi on the ice. It's bad in Saskatchewan for people doing that because they get all mad midwinter. They're not catching any walleyes and they're like, oh, stupid Cisco's. They eat all the walleye eggs. You know what? There's some truth to that. Cisco's will go up where the walleye are spawning or whatever, but walleyes are pretty good at defending their area and pike too, of keeping those Cisco's out there. The last thing a Cisco wants to do is go where there's pike, a bunch of hungry, aggressive pike that are going to eat them. Trust me. If anything, when the Cisco's and the whitefish spawn, I'd say that is a target for the walleye and the perch because it brings them in not to eat their eggs, but to chase the Cisco's and whitefish around. So, yes, stop throwing them on the ice. It's such a pet peeve. It blows my mind to see it. I'm sure most people here don't do it, but it's Lake of the Prairies used to be that way too. All the old locals would be like, they'd catch a pike and they'd kill it and they'd throw it on they'd throw it up on the shore or whatever. It's like they're keeping the population in check. Let those fisheries manage themselves. Mother Nature will take care of itself. 100%. We saw your video with the first crappie meal ever, Clayton. We cannot believe it. Crappies rule Minnesota. Yeah, I just don't get a fish for them very often. So yeah, they're fun. Hey Clayton, you plan on coming back to Metagosh anytime this winter? I'm not sure about the winter, but I do want to. I want to try to bring. I told my daughter Ray I'd take her down there in the spring, and we try to go catch a bunch of bluegill off the docks there. So that is something I'd like to do at some point. Should I be running treble hooks or what is your setup for flags? I just got some flags and unfortunately sick tomorrow from work. Hopefully some pike landed. I see. You're sick, so you can't go to work. I like a single treble. Mission Lake was bad for that years ago. Yeah, Mission was a bad lake that was really bad. People did it all the time. Clayton, if there's bait fish there, that means there's fish. Good chance there is. Not always, but a good chance. I'm camping on Temagani 3 nights for the weekend. Are you a fan of chumming for Laker and Burb? I'm not a big fan of chumming. I really feels like it can wreck fisheries with too much chum on, especially for the Lakers. You can make them lazy. I feel like, and I'm not a huge fan of it. Like a couple minnows here and there, dropping them down the hole is one thing, but if a burbot's going to come by, he's going to come by because of the bait that you're using. He can smell it, he can sense it, he's going to come by. So I'm not a huge chubber. I'm not. Clayton, what time of year can you usually start getting the boat out? Uh, if I'm lucky, like start of May. In Saskatchewan, we can't fish till like May 5th. Even if open water opens up sooner, you have to literally wait for the seasons. I can go into Manitoba now and fish for pike and smallies and that stuff, but a lot of those lakes just are still so cold or still have ice on them in like April. So yeah. You've ever fished Alberta and where? I've only ever fished Alberta once. It was the Bow River, and I was like 20 years old. Long, long time ago. What is your best recommendation for rod size, action, and line weight for size of Lakers you're catching? For ice fishing or for open water, Tommy? The biggest thing, like with anything, is like a rod. More so for you want to, it's you use your rod and your line weight and everything in relative terms to what your lure is that you're using, not necessarily the size of your fish. You have to have like a rod. If you're going to use a 2 ounce jig, you have to have a rod that's capable of using a 2 ounce jig all day. You can catch a big lake trout on a lighter rod if you're going to use a lighter setup or a lighter lure. So matching rods is usually all relative to what your lure size is. Now, granted, you don't want to take an ultralight rod to a fight with a 44-inch lake trout, but you're generally probably not fishing tiny little baits if you have 44-inch lake trout in the area. So it's all relative to what you're using for baits. Match your rod to your lure that you're using. Same goes with open water fishing. They put lure weights and recommendations of line on those rods for that reason, because that's like the best suited for that rod. Generally, you can get away with a little bit lighter or a little bit heavier than that rod says, but that's what it's for. Clayton wanted to let you know that Lake Medagosh is a very good pike and walleye lake as well. Well, that's good to know. Did I catch any walleye when I was there? I didn't catch any walleye. I did see a big pike moving around though, for sure. Ever fish Bradley Lake up near Clearwater? Insane smallmouth. Got sent there on a windy day in the fall. I couldn't get out in Cormorant. I've never fished it, but I've been meaning to get there at some point. I have. Northwest Adventures. Come back to Alberta. I'll take you for a float down the Bow. I'd like to do that one day, Mitch. That'd be cool. I haven't fished the Bow since I was young, and I'd like to do it again for sure. I'll definitely I'll keep you in mind with that one for sure. That'd be really cool, Mitch. That's awesome. Have you ever targeted sturgeon through the ice? Nick Linder's video was great on the Rainy River. I've targeted them on the ice, but before I was doing YouTube, a long time ago, before I was doing YouTube, and I've only done it like once or twice, and caught some nice ones though too. I should put a picture up on YouTube at some point. It's on my Instagram from like 2020, I think it is, a long time ago. Are you planning on doing any fishing with Mr. 30 for some tank walleye before the end of the season? Yeah, probably we probably will get out actually, because this year I'm not going Laker fishing likely till April on my northern trips. So I think we probably would do some end of the season walleye this year. I would think. I wouldn't doubt it if we did, for sure. Because we had some pretty good fishing a couple of years ago when we did it. So yeah, I might try to look for some different bites this year. But yes, I'll be fishing with Mr. 30 for sure at some point. Yo hi. First time Laker fishing this winter. What would you recommendation for conference lure or confidence lure? Confidence lure. Honestly, like I'd say like a 5/16, 3/8 ounce head spinner, something like that, and either like a derby slayer, a dragon slayer, a mooch minnow, something like that, a plastic, something smaller would be a really good confidence bait on that, or a tungsten dinner bell, a large tungsten dinner bell. That would definitely, I'd feel like you would hook up with that for sure. Right, right on. Those are always an awesome show. Thank you so much, dude. Clayton, have you fished Great Bear or Slave in Northwest Territories? I have not fished it. Definitely draws me though. Great Bear, I want to fish in the worst ways. I just got to make it happen at some point. But yes, I really want to fish Great Bear, big time. Have you fished a Cold Lake in Alberta? I've never fished Cold Lake. Cold Lake's a long ways for me to go to, so it probably wouldn't be high on my list to go to for Lakers. It would be a draw for me if I was closer, but it's like a long ways away, and I can fish other Laker lakes that have the same quality or better that are closer to me. So that's probably why the biggest reason why I haven't fished it. Any plans to camp this year? Yes, I would like to do some winter camping. It's probably going to be for bourbon at some point. It would be probably like, I don't know, in the next couple of weeks. End of February is the plan. How's the crooked bite been? I haven't been on the crooked for quite a while. Ever since my walleye or my pike ate my walleye, I haven't been there. Do I need to buy mapping and SD cards every few years to be accurate? I have a Garmin. Obviously you need to buy them as they add more lakes. But the subscription, I think, is a year subscription. But once you have like the card, I think you're good for anything that's on that card. But you can, as they upgrade stuff, then you'd have to like, I don't know if you buy new cards or if you can update as you go. I'm not positive with that. I'm not sure. Any open water walleye reel recommendations? 100 to 200. Honestly, last year I fished more walleyes with the big bore from Frostbite, and I think it's like 79, $89 or something like that. That reel was so good for walleye. It's all I'll be running for walleye again for this year. I like the big bore over the 1000 size, the diesel, just because it has a little bit more line capacity. And when you have more line capacity, you can cast a little bit further. And you reel baits in quicker too. If you make a bad cast, you can reel it in really quick. Any plans to ice camp this year? I thought I just answered that. Yes, plans. I got plans, Chris. Uh, Burbot, 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 Burbot. What is up, Clayton? Carp on a fly is unreal. Oh, unless the chat jumped. Maybe the chat jumped. Do you think people should take pics of out of season fish? That's a good question. I see no harm if you were going to do it quick. I think measuring an out of season fish is wrong, but I think taking a quick picture, I don't think it would be that bad. Like obviously, especially if you could take the picture like in the water. If usually you're going to have to take the fish out of the water to take the hook out. So in terms of snapping a photo as you're doing it, I see no harm. But in terms of measuring it, like to me, I would never do it because it's an out of season fish. It's an out of season catch. No matter what the length is, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter, especially when we're targeting it. And it's really weird when I go walleye fishing and if I hook a big pike, I am not excited to measure that fish or whatever. One of my biggest fears is to catch a 50-inch pike while I'm walleye fishing because I don't think it would mean as much to me as if I was trying to target pike for that day. So I see no harm with taking a myself, like taking a photo with it, but I don't think it would mean anything. Because like if I caught a fish that's out of season and if I have it out of the water and I'll show it off to the camera and I put it back, it's like, am I really taking any extra time? Probably not. Would I set up a camera myself for a selfie? No, I would never do it. I'd have to have that camera running to do it as an emotion. And if it was like say a muskie that was caught out of season, you could if you could unhook it by the boat, I would just unhook it by the boat and I wouldn't even take a photo with it. That's more so for me, like in terms of not necessarily ethical, but like morals, like what it means to me. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense or answers your question, but that's kind of how I feel about that subject. If you could spend a month on any lake in Canada, which one would it be? Wow, good question. I think Reindeer Lake. Reindeer Lake would be one for sure. I would if I could spend a month straight on reindeer. I think I would. That would be one. I want to fish reindeer again. It's been a while. Clayton, have you heard of Garmin is unveiling the new live scope yet? Lawrence going haste. I haven't heard anything yet. And be honest with you, even if I have, I couldn't tell you. So really, asking the question is kind of like benign in that sense, where it's like I couldn't even answer it properly or successfully or truthful. So No, there's nothing being that I know of that's in the works right now. Do you think 19-pound fluoro leader is too big for a walleye? Yeah, I think it's too big for sure. 19 pounds is a lot for walleye for a fluoro leader. I'd say like the most I'm ever running is 14 for tip up or for like a leader material. And even when I was running a straight like fluoro or mono, is probably a 14-pound. 19 seems a little bit high. Hello, Clayton. Hello, sir. How you been? Been a while. Hope all's well, dude. Clayton, have you heard? Oh, I've got that question already. I don't know when I drink alcohol and I talk too much, I start to get stuffed up. It's so weird. Love your videos. Go back to Amisk Lake for pike. Yes, I know. I need to. Did you fish the river there at all? No, I have not fished the river yet, but I'd like to. I'd like to. Any advice when heading a new lake for walleye that there is no mapping for? It's a small lake up north that my brother invited me to. I'd take some kind of mapping unit and I'd create your own maps as you go. That would be the biggest thing. And then just dissect the lake one little bit at a time. Like there might be a few key areas that you want to look at that are yes across the lake from each other, but try like don't do it in the same day, right? Like in one day, like focus in that general area. Spend less time driving far distances and drive short distances and check all the islands around that area, points, etc. Like really dissect little, make it into like quadrants and dissect each area at a time, right? One at a time. That's the quickest way you're going to learn a lake. Clayton, are you big into hunting? I'd love to hunt. I really do. Do you have an opinion on the Maven or Alpha? I haven't touched the Maven yet at all. I'm sure it's a great auger. The Alpha's been very, very good for me. They're all these companies make great stuff these days, right? Like that's the biggest thing. And usually you can only tell if it's really good after it's been tried and tested and true, or what's that, tested and true, whatever. But let's be honest, they're probably both like the Maven's probably a great auger. I use the Alpha because of what I believe in with Artisan and how good they've been to me, and it makes a great auger and it's not junk and I like it. But the Maven's probably a great auger too. So I don't think you go wrong with either. Myself, I use the Eskimo product because they're really good to me and their customer service is really good too, which helps. But yeah. Are you fishing any walleye tournaments this season? I think the only one I'm doing this year is the Last Mountain Fall Classic, I believe. I think that's the only one I'm doing at this point. I think. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. I all of a sudden cannot breathe with the alcohol and the talking too much. It's crazy. I'm home for a little bit now, so we'll do another of these within the week for sure. Because I know I went 2.5 weeks without doing any live chats. So we'll get back out or at her for sure. We'll do some more live chats. A video coming out to everybody tomorrow, probably at 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon of a perch hunt. I'll do a member only live chat for a little bit. Appreciate everybody. Take care. See you.